Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. And I've been a busy boy. Yes, I have. Let's take a quick look with the spectator camera. As you can see, I put in a lot of lights going down the back, and I put a lot of lights all over this guy. Like I said, I've been busy. I was having a lot of fun while I was waiting for Igor to finish mining. I also put in a bunch of lights. I mean, okay, I just said that. I meant these emissive strips, but I also put in corner lights, and they're working and all that kind of thing all the way down. We don't have to turn on the headlamp for anything. It's not, bright or anything, but it's certainly not dark anymore. I did a whole bunch of other little maintenance thingies, like just little things here and there. And we'll probably just run across them as they happen because they're just lots of little automation and whatnot sort of stuff. We've now got 500k ice, which I'm fairly happy with. I don't see any problem with that. Don't feel like I'm going to crash anytime soon into something because I run out of stuff. And then I also gathered a fair amount of things. Looks like it's finished processing quite a few of those items. That's good. Let's take a quick look, hop in here, and let's grab the Tim camera, which would be this guy. Looks like we're still hurting on cobalt, but it's also still using it pretty much as fast as it can get it. We still have quite a bit in the way of cobalt ore, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, let's go. Let's get back to the Great Doritos Moon, which we don't really have a name for. Let me do this and allow the gyros to work again. By the way, I also added some more gyros back into the trailer there. And let's head that way. And don't worry, I grabbed a GPS location for this. I actually called it, hang on, let's hit this button. I called it Shopping List Asteroid. I thought that was appropriate. I certainly won't forget that one, that's right. All right. I also set up a second bar for our jumps. So we can kind of just do this sort of thing. So here's a 2% jump. And let's see, I believe I got to remember which one's which. Turn off that and that. Jump. Oh, no, because we got to switch those. Jump. There we go. We're going to jump 28 kilometers. That should bring us, well, closer. We'll see how far. The fact that it's letting us means we're not going to be inside the planet or anything. Ooh. Okay, that's close. And this is a moon, so I'm pretty much figuring that have to get fairly close before we start seeing any gravity or whatnot. Let's jump back over here and speed this up a little bit. 7 on. And what I want to do is I want to get up to speed. And then, yeah, we're using hydros. I'm going to get up to speed until I see that we've got some natural gravity. And then I'm going to stop and back out of the natural gravity and leave the trailer. All right, so now we're trying to stop as fast as possible. Okay. This should stop us a little faster because we're using more thrusters. And then let's just back out. We're 0.09. We want to get out to the point where we have 0. I think at 0.05 it just drops to 0. It just cliff. Yep, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit further away. There we go. Oh, this is going to be our slowest stopping position because we have no hydrogens pointing up. That's okay. Let's just go ahead and do this. This will speed things up a bit. Or slow things down faster a bit. All right, come on. And we're at 0. Okay, so let's kill those engines. Force the gyros not to move, and let's see, how much did we use? It wasn't too bad. So we used 400, or no, we had about 500, so we used about 80. We still got plenty in the tanks. Okay. And so it is time to separate. For our first official separation here. First thing we need to do is close the doors. I feel like I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? I was going to make sure that I have plenty of... Let's see. We've got components in here. And we don't have a ton, though. I'm not thrilled with this. Kind of want to... Maybe if I added a second, because I know that it's supposed to be splitting evenly, but I think that Tim actually... let's see, let's do components. And, yeah, that didn't work. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. So, yeah, you can see as an example, there's 2,000 reactor components in this large cargo container, while there's only 76 in this one. And I think it's trying to split it out according to the total volume available. So maybe if we just make a second cargo container, that would be enough. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do that. Open another one over here that's just doing the same exact thing. Actually, what's in this one? There's nothing in that one. Let's just tell it to keep some too. So we'll do small cargo, Tim, component, and that should be enough. So that'll keep, yeah, so that's keeping 74 in it as well. And now if we component, so yeah, so that just doubles how much we're storing in the front here. Yeah. And then the back is still keeping the majority, but makes me a little bit more comfortable to at least have enough reactor components to make one full small reactor. Let's see. What else should we do before we separate? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I don't want to get down to the planet and wish. You know what I mean? What are you? Oh, you're a medium. I need a small. Let's go ahead and use this color. And... Is that? It's kind of a weird layout, but whatever. I'm going to have this one store ingots. So that... And then we're going to go ahead and make... Let's put in an assembler. I'm not going to bother with a refinery. If we need a refinery, we can make a refinery at that point. But I do want to have an assembler just in case. Let's put one here. Yeah, let's do that. So we can actually kind of use it instead of this pipe. Yeah, like this. So now we've got ourselves... Ship would exceed regulations. Oh, that's right. They have that new limit of how many blocks you can have. Okay. Well, phooey. Okay, let me go. I'm going to switch that because I don't want to be limited. So I'm going to remove those limits for my single player game. I understand on multiplayer servers why they have those limits. That's actually really important. But on a single player game, I think I can handle removing the limits. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right, let's try this again. That's an oxygen generator. I don't want an oxygen generator. I want, there we go. And like, nope, 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 there. Yeah, like that. Okay. Now it lets me. Igor, thank you. Do your thing. All right, so now we'll have an assembler on the ship here. And go ahead, finish up. Thank you. That's just going to be a generic assembler that if, for example, we end up needing... Okay. Sorry. And then this finished up. Yeah, I thought that was going to end up upside down. Darn it. It's just, it bugs me. I have to rotate it. Forgive me, but I don't like that it doesn't show me. Is that going to be the right way up? Yes, yes it is. Excellent. All right. So this one's going to have ingots in it. Let's do that. We're going to keep some of the ingots, which there we go. The good thing about this is it's going to include uranium so that we have some more fuel, but it's also going to have some of our other ingots in here. And if for some reason something goes horribly wrong and we desperately need to make something down on the planet, we'll be able to make it from what we've got. And if for some reason we don't have the ingots, then we can make ourselves a refinery and all that. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is make ourselves a merge blocks. Do I have, you know, I think I never actually grouped the merge blocks. So we'll stick that down there, toggle on off, and when we do this, oh, why did we lose oxygen here when that happened? That's strange. But we should theoretically be no longer connected. Yes, thank you, Igor. Oh, by the way, I put in those windows. I just realized that I didn't mention that. I just wanted, and I also took out the blocks that I had placed in up there a while back. Okay, so it's still... Huh. That's really interesting. We are still airtight, you know, pressurized. Interesting. Okay, well, also, I just thought of something. I don't have a vent down here, and I'd kind of like one. Do I not have any steel plate, or is that... I must not have any steel plate. I don't. Okay. Grab some. Igor, do your thing. Yeah, I can do some of it. Igor, do the rest of the thing. This is handy because if I stand right here, it turns on the oxygen generators. Or at least the one. And then if I step out of it, it'll turn it off, but I can see when we're oxygenated. I guess I can see in the lower right-hand corner of my HUD, too. But that's okay. All right. Let's see if we can actually separate the ship. And if I push forward, look at that. We are actually leaving the trailer behind. Now, one of the things I want to make sure of, oops, that's not the button, is that we actually have, yes, the trailer has an antenna, which it looks like now the trailer is called MBT1. Names get goofy when you merge and unmerge. But I want to make sure that that antenna, oh, that's the antenna. It has a 10,000 meter range. I think I'm going to bump this up to 50. So 50 kilometers we should be able to see from the ground, but I'm also going to make a new thing here, just called trailer. All right, so now we'll be able to see that as well. Okay, we are moving very slowly. Oh, the ship looks so weird without the trailer on it, doesn't it? And it's leaving bits of its lights behind. That's interesting. Okay, well, let's turn on the... Ooh, how much ice do I have? Okay, it's all stored in front. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, we store it all in the oxygen generators. That's right. I was, for a moment, afraid that we weren't going to be storing them on the ship. But let's get down to that planet. I love those stripes. Aren't these stripes great? Just look all random and stuff. I want more, though. I'm going to keep on doing some. All right, we're just about to hit gravity. There we go. We have hit gravity. We are 2,500 meters from the ground. We are accelerating past the max speed. This is scary. Okay, we're able to stop. And 250 meters off the ground. Let's see what we got. Ooh, there's some ore. What is that? That's ice. There's ice. Okay, I knew that. Thank you, ore detector. Let's see what this dark spot is over here. I think we're going to have to get closer to the ground for that. There's some nickel down there. What I want mostly is cobalt and gold. I've got plenty of nickel. That is definitely not an issue. So let me fly around just a little bit and... Ooh, there's platinum down there. Platinum, nickel. So I'm going to fly around a little bit on this horrendously boring planet and see if I can find anything interesting. And I will let you know. Gold. Oh, and by the way, this is what I decided to do. I put a big old tire on the front. The cool thing about tires is they actually have like a really impressive amount of hit points or damage resistance or something. So I've actually even seen it used as armor. I also watched a base, probably about the size of the MBT, bounce down a mountainside off of 4 of these large tires and not take a bit of damage. It was the most incredible thing. Looks like we're locked in already. Okay, we are good. Let's go ahead and shut off 7. Let's take a look and see how we're doing on ice. See, we would have been almost out of ice if I hadn't actually gone and gotten some more. And that would have been a little bit scary. So I'm glad I did that. But then again, if we had been that low on ice, I probably wouldn't have flown around looking for gold. All right. So I'm going to go set up Igor. And we'll start gathering some gold, I guess. I was just about to run to the back of the trailer to see how we were doing on ore and realized we're not doing on ore. But check this out. Yeah, that's right. We can still look through the camera. Okay, so yeah, we could definitely use some more gold. We definitely need... actually, cobalt's okay. And platinum and iron, as always. But they're not hurting too bad. But yeah, I'm gonna get some gold. All right, let's go make ourselves a hammer or whatever that thing is. The new hole. I don't know, somehow it just sounds even a little bit dirty. Okay. Let's try out the new ramp, too. Didn't even think about this until just now. Does it actually get to the ground? Nope. Oh, that's because this thing locked above. It's okay. Can I... Oh, almost jumped back up on that. Oh, yeah, there you go. Low gravity for the win. Okay, so gold ice is not going to be a problem. Let's just stick this right here. Oh, you know what? I forgot. There's a beacon you can use. What is it? It's the... Yeah, the repair beacon. If I place the repair beacon on this, as long as I can build the repair beacon, then... Oh, I need steel plate to do that. Darn it. Hang on. Can I grab some steel plate from one of you? Yes, I can. So then I would just need some construction components, computers, bolt tubes, and radio. The large steel tubes and computers. I should actually pay more attention next time. Oh, what? Okay, you should not have been able to do that. It just repaired its own construction beacon. And now it's going to start working on these, isn't it? I'll give it the stuff I have in my... And yep, look at that. Beautiful. So as long as we carry enough for a construction beacon, we'll be good in the future. All right. All it sees is ice? It sees ice and more ice. Why is it not seeing the gold? We're only 40 meters away from the gold. Maybe it's like a really small patch and we're actually further away than I thought. Well, phooey. Okay. I'm going to let that thing get ice for a little bit. And the next thing we need to do, and this is something I just learned on the... well, I guess I didn't just learn it, but I realized back on the shopping list asteroid was we really actually kind of need a ship. We need to actually be able to build, or sorry, we need to actually be able to go mine. So we're going to do that. Well, looks like they Keen broke something that we used to use to start new vehicles. So normally, or in the past, let's see, hit 8 again, you would just set down a landing gear, and as long as it was close enough to the ground, it would automatically lock in. And I'm going to try and get as close as I possibly can. Yeah, but it would actually lock. It's not doing that anymore, which means that it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Oh, don't do that. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to get a vehicle started. There's a couple of ways to go about doing that. I've got some ideas. Okay, apparently we're having some meteors do their things. Good job, turrets there. That was very nice. So glad I have a lot of turrets on this thing. Yeah, so let's go ahead and build this a different way then. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build on a rotor. So I don't want an advanced rotor. I just want a regular rotor. And I'm going to put on a big rotor. And then I'm going to grind off the rotor part. We'll wait for Igor. I'm never going to stop doing that. To get most of that done, we'll finish it off. And then let's take a look and see if we can find a rotor. There it is. So we're going to add a small head. This is a brand new feature. And we now have a head that we can build a small vehicle on. The nice thing about doing it this way is because it is a subgrid, I am pretty sure that Igor will go ahead and build it. I may be wrong about that. Come on, Igor. You gonna do it? Yes, you are. Sweet. So now we could have put one of those repair beacons on it, but because it's technically still part of the ship. It's not just a landing gear docked to the ship. It is actually part of the ship. That means Igor is going to help us build it, which would be really nice. So maybe I'll just go ahead and build this thing on camera. Or maybe I won't, because we are completely out of time, unfortunately. So, tell you what, I'm going to come back and we're going to build it next week. I'm going to think, wait, next week, not next week, next episode. And I'm going to think about a few different options about how I want to build this. I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas for some unique builds, but I kind of want to flesh some of them out anyway. And like I said, we're running out of time. So don't forget, if you haven't seen it already, if you're watching this fairly shortly after it comes out, I've got a live stream that's going to be happening this Friday. That's 2 days from now. And if it's already past December 22nd, or no, it's December 23rd of 2016, and you're watching this in the distant future, then ignore that. Go watch the recording of the live stream. But if you're watching this fairly quickly, then join me for the live stream. I'm actually going to make a copy of the MBT, and we are... Oh, and actually, this is Wednesdays, so we're going to make a copy of the MBT the way it looks right now. I'm actually going to make a copy of this world sitting on the moon in this exact location. There won't be any changes, I don't think. I might do a little bit of cleanup, and you guys can actually come and join me on the MBT. I only have room for, I actually don't know how many people we're going to be able to get on here without completely lagging out the server, but we will give it a try. If you can't get on the MBT, either you don't own the game or whatnot, just join us in the chat for it. It will be starting at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is 11:30 UTC on Friday. So try to join us. If not, watch the recording. And as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and just keep being awesome. I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.